Pledge. Oh, yeah. Calling to order the Cuyahoga County Council regular meeting for Tuesday, December the 12th. Clerk, please call the roll.
Calling the roll, Ms. Baker. Here. Mr. Miller. Here. Mr. Tuma.
Here.
Mr. Gallagher. Here. Mr. Schrun.
Here.
Ms. Conwell.
Present.
Mr. Jones.
Here.
Ms. Brown. Mr. Hairston.
Here.
Ms. Simon. Council President Brady.
Present.
There is a quorum.
Pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, is there any public comment related to the agenda?
Mr. President, I have no one that has signed in.
All right. Is there a motion to approve the minutes for November the 27th Committee of the Whole and November the 28th regular meeting?
So moved. Second.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? The minutes have been approved. We have a message from the county executive, and he's asked to come up to the podium today.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today culminates many months of hard work to create the 2018-2019 county budget. This was a very tough budget cycle, resulting largely from huge cuts at the state level. The budget we passed 2 years ago was tough, with a $68 million hole to fill. But that wasn't as difficult as this budget, because 2 years ago we had more low-hanging fruit to use. This year, without the low-hanging fruit, we had some very tough decisions to make. But we made it through. I've been watching what other counties are doing, and many of them are using most or all of the so-called Medicaid managed care transition funds all in 1 year to balance their budgets. That simply kicks the toughest decisions on the budgets down the road. Our budget does not do that. We use the transition funds wisely to build an off-ramp over the next 3 years to give us time to fully absorb the state cuts without having to make catastrophic cuts all at once. Now, the budget before you today is very good. Not perfect, not exactly what I wanted, and I'm sure not exactly what you wanted. But it's responsive to the state cuts and still allows us to move the county forward. It still allows us to fulfill our core mission to lift up the people of Cuyahoga County, especially those most in need. And it still maintains the strong progress that we are achieving in Northeast Ohio. We've been able to support crucial strategic initiatives, such as our workforce initiative, helping people get good jobs on a path to a career. Our work to provide financial supports to young children who want to go to a high-quality preschool to make sure we give our kids a good start in life. We've included funds to continue the important work to demolish blighted properties, to stabilize communities and improve property values. We're continuing to support the economic development work that is so critical for the growth of businesses and the creation of jobs. We've continued to support our road and bridge work, adding funds so that we can provide much-needed infrastructure support to our municipalities. This is just a small example of what this budget sets out to accomplish. I'm proud of the hard work that we all put into this as we stayed focused on our core strategic priorities. Now, I don't see the county through rose-colored glasses. We still face serious challenges that need to be addressed as we go forward. For example, the opioid crisis continues to ravage our community. Though we've added funds to combat this epidemic, virtually every one of our departments is increasingly stressed. Our jail continues to serve as the major provider of mental health services, and that's simply not the right place to serve those residents who need help. We have more than doubled the number of children in high-quality pre-K, but it's still not enough. And while we can point to many successes with our economic development, job creation, and job training initiatives, we must do a whole lot more. So this is a very good budget, which will enable us to continue our progress. But we have serious needs that are yet to be met, and there's no cavalry that's going to be riding in from the state or federal governments. We must continue to search for ways to do more ourselves with limited resources. I want to thank all of our chiefs and directors who contributed to the creation of this budget. I want to thank Dennis Kennedy, our fiscal officer, and Maggie Keenan, OBM director, and her entire team for their great work. And I want to thank you, Council President Brady, and you, Finance Chair Dale Miller, and all of you on council for your thoughtful consideration and very thorough process. And I want to thank council staff, especially Joe Nani and Trevor McAleer, for working so well with our executive staff to reach this good result. So I thank you, and I look forward to your passing the budget today. Thank you.
Thank you. Legislation introduced by council, consideration of resolutions of council for first reading, adoption under suspension of rules. Could I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. The motion to suspend the rules is passed.
Resolution number 2017-0238, approving a collective bargaining agreement between Cuyahoga County Board of Developmental Disabilities and Service Employees International Union, District 1199, the Healthcare and Social Services Union, representing approximately 305 employees in various classifications in adult services for the period January 1, 2018 through December 31, 2020.
This item was discussed in executive session. Previously, the council took no action on CCB ODD collective bargaining agreements without, if there is no disagreement, then we would take no action on this matter today.
Resolution number 2017-0239, approving a collective bargaining agreement between Cuyahoga County Board of Developmental Disabilities and Service Employees International Union, District 1199, the Healthcare and Social Services Union, representing approximately 191 employees in various classifications in support administration for the period January 1, 2018 through December 31, 2020.
As with the last resolution, we will take no action on this item as well. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for council for second reading adoption under suspension of rules. Could I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
And seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? The ayes have it. The motion to suspend the rules has been adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0226, approving the Metro Health System year 2018 budget in accordance with Ohio Revised Code, Section 339.06D, with the understanding that the allocation of county funds to the system will be made through adoption of the 2018-2019 biennial operating budget and capital improvements program for 2018.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, my colleagues, this resolution approves the Metro Health budget for 2018 with the help of our $32.4 million annual subsidy. Metro Health projects sufficient revenue to cover operating expenses and the capital costs associated with the Metro Health Transformation Plan. This resolution approves the budget. The subsidy itself is approved as part of the biennial budget resolution.
All right. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0227, approving the Metro Health Systems policies and procedures to participate in one or more joint purchasing associations for the purpose of acquiring supplies, equipment, and services provided through joint purchasing arrangements in order to achieve beneficial purchasing arrangements for the year 2018 in accordance with Ohio Revised Code, Section 339.05.
Move to adopt.
Been moved and seconded. Councilman?
Mr. President, my colleagues, this resolution authorizes Metro Health to save on procurement costs by participating in joint purchasing agreements. We would approve it permanently if we could, but state law requires an annual reauthorization.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Consideration of resolutions of council for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2017-0194, approving the appointment of Oz Azali to serve on the Cuyahoga County Soldiers and Sailors Monument Commission Board of Trustees for an unexpired term ending November 5th, 2020.
Been moved and seconded. Councilwoman?
Yes, this appointment will fill a vacancy on the Soldier and Sailors Monument. Mr. Azali will serve for an unexpired term through November 5th, 2020. Typically, the terms are for 5 years. His appointment was discussed in the HR committee, and I respectfully request my colleague's passage as he was supported by the existing members of this commission.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0195, awarding a casino revenue fund grant in the amount of $875,000 to City of Berea for the benefit of the Coe Lake redevelopment project located at Coe Lake Park, John Mucklow Playground, and Cuyahoga County Library Berea Branch in the City of Berea.
Move to adopt.
Been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President, I would like to, first off, thank all the members of council for supporting this. When we first started the casino funds, when they became available to us, we always looked for projects that were transformative and would touch the lives of the individuals within the cities and surrounding areas. I think the Coe Lake project does just that. Its unique positioning in downtown Berea, its association with the Metro Parks next door, and the brand-new playgrounds and parking lot that this will provide will make the Coe Lake project complete. And I'm proud to be a part of that and proud that this council sees fit to move forward on this. I'd like to thank Khalil Seren, especially from our office, who worked on our side with the Mayor Kleem, who's here with his team to get this project done. And I look forward to visiting, as I hope my fellow members do, when they're in Berea, to find out what we've done for the city of Berea and the folks that live in the surrounding areas. It's going to be a wonderful thing for everybody to enjoy.
Thank you, Councilman. I had the pleasure of meeting with the mayor and visiting the location, and it looks like a wonderful project. I'm glad that we could be of help. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. Resolution is adopted. Legislation introduced by the executive. Consideration of a resolution for first adoption and suspension of rules. Could I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. The rules have been suspended.
Resolution number 2017-0240, amending the 2016-2017 biennial operating budget for 2017 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations, for appropriation transfers, and for cash transfers.
Adopt.
Been moved and seconded. Councilman?
Mr. President, my colleagues, this resolution is the regular bi-monthly fiscal agenda. Questions were presented to OBM and answered to our satisfaction. The questions and answers are provided on your desk. The resolution reflects that none of the $1 million in pay compression funds will be spent in 2017. There are several items reflecting year-end reconciliation of space, maintenance, security, and other indirect costs. Other items relate to appropriation and closeout of grants, appropriations from various sewer district accounts for work done, and routine transfers from HHA levy to pay for services. I recommend passage on first reading suspension.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Consideration of resolutions for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution number 2017-0241, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires resurfacing of Wallings Road from Broadview Road to the Broadview Heights East Corporation line in the city of Broadview Heights. Total estimated project cost, $2,060,000. Finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's cost of said improvement. Authorizing the county executive to enter into an agreement of cooperation with said municipality in connection with said project.
We're going to refer this to Public Works. Let me say, we have very few referrals today to committee, and committee chairpersons should feel free to decide when they intend to meet. They could do that next week. They could do it after the first of the year, and either way, even if things go smoothly, this will not reach the council until the first council meeting about the middle of January. So, Chairman, decide for yourself.
Resolution number 2017-0242, authorizing a contract with the Salvation Army in the amount not to exceed $537,741 for the PASS Rapid Rehousing Program for single adults in connection with fiscal year 2016 HUD Continuum of Care Homeless Assistance Grant Programs for the period October 1, 2017 through September 30, 2018.
This will be referred to Health and Human Services.
Resolution number 2017-0243, authorizing an amendment to contract number CE 16077 with Youth Opportunities Unlimited for the temporary assistance to needy families summer youth employment program for the period May 1, 2016 through December 31, 2017, to extend the time period to December 31, 2018, to change the scope of services effective January 1, 2018, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $8,673,699.
And this will be referred to Health and Human Services as well.
Resolution number 2017-0244, making awards on requisition number 40361 to various providers for various programs and services for the Cuyahoga County Fatherhood Initiative for the period January 1, 2018 through December 31, 2018, for the providers in the amounts not to exceed and for the programs as printed on the agenda.
And this will also be referred to the Health and Human Services Committee. Committee reports and consideration of a resolution for second reading.
Resolution number 2017-0229, confirming the county executive's appointment of Mozelle T. Jackson to serve on the Cuyahoga County Board of Developmental Disabilities for the term January 25th, 2018 through January 24th, 2022.
And this item will move to the January 9th, 2008 council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading adoption under suspension of rules. Could I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. The rules have been suspended.
Resolution number 2017-0182, adopting the 2018-2019 biennial operating budget and capital improvements program and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Been moved and seconded.
Mr. President, my colleagues, this is the two-year operating budget for Cuyahoga County. I would like to thank Executive Budish and Council President Brady for their leadership in helping put this together, and also Director Maggie Keenan and Trevor McAleer for their assistance, and also for all of my colleagues. Everybody participated in the budget process, and everybody contributed ideas that are reflected in this budget. This resolution reflects the successful preparation of the 2018 to 2019 budget despite unprecedented challenges. The loss of Medicaid managed care sales tax revenue results in a permanent loss of $27 million per year after the temporary state transitional assistance runs out in late 2018 or early 2019. County Council did highly significant things with this budget. We restored funding for the demolition program. With the assistance of Executive Budish and his administration, we provided funding for enhanced services at the Norma Herr Women's Shelter and overflow services for the homeless. We restored $500,000 in funding to assist child care providers in achieving high-quality standards. We also provided much-needed additional funding for the Public Defender's Office. The budget is close to balanced in a technical sense, but heavily dependent on one-time revenues on both the general fund and HHS levy side, meaning that current spending levels are not sustainable long-term without additional resources. The budget is only a spending plan, and our financial success in the coming years will depend on nitty-gritty work over the next several years to reduce expenditures in every department and/or to raise revenue, as reflected by the executive when he referred to the need to adjust over time to a new level of spending. In response to unprecedented challenges, the 2018 to 19 budget represents a collaborative effort by the executive and council and is a blend of our best thinking on how to tackle the challenges we face. I support passage of the resolution.
All right, could I have a motion to accept the proposed substitute?
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on the proposed substitute? All those in favor of the proposed substitute, say aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The substitute, the motion as substituted as passed. Any further discussion? All those in favor of adopting the resolution on its merits as substituted, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Ayes have it. The resolution is adopted, and we have another biennial budget after many months of hard work, and thank you to everybody involved, and it does seem like everybody was involved. All right.
Resolution number 2017-0199, authorizing a purchase and sale agreement with Thomas T. George, a managing member, George Family Enterprises, in the amount of $2,750,000 for a property located at 7001 Euclid Avenue, Cleveland, permanent parcel number 118-08018, which includes 118-08020 to 024, 047 to 053, and 064 and 065.
Move to adopt.
Second. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. President, my colleagues, this resolution provides for the sale of county-owned property on behalf of the Department of Developmental Disabilities located at 7001 Euclid Avenue to the George Group for $2,750,000, which was a $250,000 increase over the preliminary offers that were received earlier in the process. The sale price represents the conclusion of a process in which interested parties were invited to submit best and final offers. The sale price exceeds appraisal values reflecting the competitive interest in the Midtown Corridor property. In light of heavy investments that they have made in the property over the years, the sale price, except for a deduction for expenses, will go to the Developmental Disabilities Board. I recommend approval of the resolution.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Mr. Chairman, would you add my name to the resolution?
Jones's name.
Okay. Resolution number 2017-0230, authorizing the appropriation of real property for reconstruction with additional turning lanes of Royalton Road from West 130th Street to York Road in the city of North Royalton, directing the county executive through the Department of Public Works to proceed with the acquisition of real property required for public highway purposes, authorizing the fiscal officer to issue the monetary warrants to be deposited with the probate court of Cuyahoga County in an amount that is equal to the fair market value of the property as printed on the agenda. Additionally, Councilmember Gallagher has asked to be a sponsor to this item.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0231, making an award on requisition number 38434 to Tran Systems Corporation of Ohio in the amount not to exceed $709,061 for design engineering services in connection with rehabilitation of Hilliard Road Bridge number 08.57 over Rocky River and Valley Parkway in the cities of Lakewood and Rocky River.
Move to
Move
adopt.
to adopt.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0232, authorizing an amendment to contract number CE 1600-270 with Highland Group Incorporated for insurance brokerage and risk management services for the period January 1, 2017 through December 31, 2017, to extend the time period to December 31, 2018, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,445,000.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0233, authorizing an amendment to agreement number AG 17013 with Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office for legal services for the period January 1, 2017 through December 31, 2017, to extend the time period to December 31, 2018, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $2,498,203.
Jane, before we move it, can I, is Bob Math here? Because this was something in committee that was not, it was for 3 readings, it was not for second reading suspension. So is anyone here from, I just caught that, it wasn't supposed.
Madam Chair, my staff gave me the report that said it was
Okay.
under suspension, so that's why it's on there.
I know, but it wasn't supposed to. There's no big holdup on our end, I don't think, from the committee. So if you just
What
wanna,
is your pleasure?
we can move forward. I just let you know, I take detailed notes, and it was not, just because it was the prosecutor and it dealt with the budget. But if none of the committee members have any problem with it, we can go ahead with second reading suspension. And in that case, I move to adopt.
Seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0234, authorizing an exemption with regard to Adelphoi Village Incorporated, Detroit Behavioral Incorporated, and Reach Counseling Services in accordance with Cuyahoga County Code, Section 501.12B10, making awards on requisition number 39540 to various providers in the total amount not to exceed $43 million for out-of-home placement and foster care services for the period January 1, 2018 through December 31, 2018.
Move to adopt. Mr. President, this project is funded 30% by the federal funds and 70% by our Health and Human Services levy dollars. And I ask council to approve.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0235, making awards on requisition number 39732 to various providers in the total amount not to exceed $2,120,700 for various services for the Cuyahoga Options for Independent Living Services Program for the period January 1, 2018 through December 31, 2018, authorizing the county executive to execute the master contract and all other documents consistent with said awards in this resolution for the providers as printed on the agenda.
Move to adopt. Mr. President, the Options Program provides specialized services that will allow the seniors to remain in their home independently. Things such as chore services, personal care, grab bar installation, home delivered meals, as well as emergency response button and transportation. And this project is also funded by 100% by the Health and Human Service levy dollars. And I ask council to please approve.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0236, authorizing an amendment to contract number CE 17023 with Lutheran Metropolitan Ministry for adult guardianship services for the period January 1, 2017 through December 31, 2017, to extend the time period to December 31, 2018, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $553,000.
Move to adopt. Mr. President, 433,000 of this contract is funded by the HHS levy dollars, and the remainder funds are through probate court fees, roughly around $120,000. But with the tight budget, we might actually have to put in a little bit more money this year. So I ask that council approves this legislation.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it, the resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0237, making an award on requisition number 40338 to Mental Health Services for Homeless Persons Incorporated, doing business as Frontline Service, in the amount not to exceed $1,222,993 for temporary housing services for single adults and youth for the period January 1, 2018 through December 31, 2018.
Move to adopt.
Moved and seconded.
Mr. President, Director Gillette actually was not able to, I think they had an audit of some sort, was not able to attend the meeting, but the committee was, actually got to meet two of the employees from North Point that gave us a little bit more insight and background into what goes on in North Point. This project is funded 100% solely by our HHS levy dollars, and I ask council to approve.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it, the resolution is adopted. Consideration of resolutions for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2017-0201, authorizing an agreement with Village of Newburgh Heights for relocation costs for the Harvard Yard facility for the period January 1, 2018 through June 30, 2031.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it, the resolution is adopted.
Excuse me, Mr. President, I'm unclear as to who the first and seconds were.
Councilman Strawn and myself.
Resolution number 2017-0202, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires resurfacing Pleasant Valley Road from State Road to Broadview Road in the city of Parma. Total estimated project cost $4,944,000, finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's costs of said improvement, authorizing the county executive to enter into an agreement of cooperation with said municipality in connection with said project.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Mr. President, if you could add my name to that as well.
Please add Councilman Tuma's name to the resolution. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it, the resolution is adopted.
Mr. President, could you add my name to 0201, the Village of Newburgh Heights?
Did you get that, Madam Clerk?
Yes, Mr. President.
All right.
Resolution number 2017-0203, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires replacement of Stone Road Bridge number 00.98 over Hemlock Creek in the city of Independence. Total estimated project cost $1,500,000. Finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's costs of said improvement, authorizing the county executive to enter into an agreement of cooperation with said municipality in connection with said project.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Please add Councilman Strawn's name. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it, the resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0206, approving right-of-way plans as set forth in plat number M-5030 for rehabilitation of North Main Street Bridge number 00.12 over the Chagrin River in the village of Chagrin Falls, authorizing the county executive through the Department of Public Works to acquire said necessary rights-of-way.
Move to adopt.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Please add Councilman Strawn's name to this one as well, out there in Chagrin Falls. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it, the resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0209, making an award on requisition number 38730 to Matrix Claims Management Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $580,200 for workers' compensation third-party administrator services for the period January 1, 2018 through December 31, 2020.
Mr. Chair, this is a three-year contract for workers' comp third-party administrator services, which is the vendor who handles the county's workers' comp claims. We've seen this contract in previous years, and it's in line with the dollar amounts we've paid, and so I respectfully request my colleagues' passage.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, the resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0210, making an award on requisition number 40216 to Medical Mutual of Ohio in the amount not to exceed $4,210,000 for stop-loss insurance services for county employees and their eligible dependents, and Cuyahoga County Benefits Regionalization Program participants' employees and their eligible dependents for the period January 1, 2018 through December 31, 2018.
Councilman Miller.
I have been working with the administration and council staff to gather more information regarding the proposed stop-loss contract and talked about it at the last council meeting. And we have sufficient information to suggest that it may not be in the county's best interest to proceed with the stop-loss contract. And I would like to request additional time for further discussion of our findings with other council members and with the administration. Based on our discussion, the resolution could be added to the agenda for the December 28th meeting if action on the legislation seems indicated.
And we will hold this legislation per Councilman Miller's concerns.
Resolution number 2017-0211, making an award on requisition number 40263 to Caremark PCS Health in the amount not to exceed $56,349,720 for pharmacy benefit management services for county employees and their eligible dependents, and Cuyahoga County Benefits Regionalization Program participants' employees and their eligible dependents for the period January 1, 2018 through December 31, 2020.
Move to adopt.
Move in second.
Mr. Chair, this is a three-year contract with Caremark PCS Health for pharmacy management services for all county employees and their dependents, as well as our regional partners. This is the same provider the county has recently been using for prescription drugs. There is a projected increase per year in the cost of prescription drugs, but that is a trend everyone is seeing. And this contract was thoroughly vetted in committee and is recommended to the full council for adoption tonight. So I respectfully request my colleagues' support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Have it, the resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0212, making an award on requisition number 40263 to Medical Mutual of Ohio, doing business as Medical Mutual Services, in the amount not to exceed $303,412,998 for group health care benefits for county employees and their eligible dependents, and Cuyahoga County Benefits Regionalization Program participants, employees, and their eligible dependents for the period January 1, 2018 through December 31, 2020.
Moved and seconded.
Mr. President, similar to the last couple of contracts, this is also a three-year contract for healthcare benefits for all county employees, dependents, as well as our regional partners. Historically, the county has used both Medical Mutual and United Healthcare for healthcare benefits administration. However, since University Hospital Systems recently started adopting Medical Mutual as an insurance provider, the county is recommending for the 2018 through 20 that we go with one provider, which is Medical Mutual. The county did a formal bid for the next 3 years where Medical Mutual was the lowest and best vendor. This resolution was discussed thoroughly in committee, and I am requesting my colleagues' support to move forward with passage on this resolution.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it, the resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0214, adopting the Cuyahoga County 2017-2022 All Hazards Mitigation Plan.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it, the resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0219, making an award on requisition number 40298 to Child Care Resource Center of Cuyahoga County, doing business as Starting Point, in the amount not to exceed $1,600,000 for out-of-school time services for youth for the period January 1, 2018 through December 31, 2018.
Move to adopt.
Second. Add my name, please.
Please add Councilwoman Conwell's name. Is there any further discussion on this
Add
legislation?
mine as well, please.
And Councilman Jones. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Committee report and consideration of a resolution for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2017-0216, making an award on requisition number 40136 to Celex ES in the amount not to exceed $870,338 for the fixed automated license plate recognition project for the period December 1, 2017 through June 30, 2021.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Mr. President, the committee took their time in hearing this because when dealing with sensitive situations with privacy, we wanted to make sure that we touched all bases. I believe we have done that. The policies and procedures for this legislation will be out next week or the week after, I believe Mrs. Carney told me. She's here to answer any further questions regarding that. This is just another tool in the bag for police officers. The biggest concern seemed to be the amount of time in which we are going to maintain possession of the material, and that would be a year, which mirrors what Cincinnati and Hamilton County has done. So we took our time. We made sure everyone that had a stake or a concern was available to come in and talk to the committee, and we addressed those concerns as we went through. I'm confident that once we see the policy and procedures, that we'll be comfortable to move through with this program. If there's anything to be altered, we have plenty of time because the implementation of these cameras will not be until mid 18. Randy, I believe that. So we have time to do that. So the committee moved it out unanimously, and I would appreciate support for this.
Any further discussion or questions on this matter? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Consideration of an ordinance for first reading and referral to committee.
Ordinance number 2017-0008, amending section 202.12 of the Cuyahoga County Code to modify the divisions and sections of the Department of Public Safety and Justice Services.
And we'll refer this to Public Safety and Justice. Miscellaneous committee reports.
Mr. President?
Councilman.
The Transportation Committee, scheduled to be the last one, will meet the day after tomorrow on Thursday, the 14th at 1 o'clock.
Thank you. Any other committee reports for tonight? Not hearing none. Any miscellaneous business? Hearing none. Any public comment unrelated to the agenda?
Yes, Mr. President, we have several speakers who have requested. Mr. Rico Dancy. Mr. Dancy, can you push the button?
Okay, good afternoon. I met with the director at the Cleveland Hearing Speech Center, Dr. Vick. Talked to her the other day. She said the problem is the council is leaving their deaf constituents out and not buying an equal access. Yesterday, I was in South Euclid. 500 gay and lesbian community have fighting for equal jobs, equal housing, fair to the people. And same thing is going on with my organization, the National Black Deaf Advocate. We have seen they're not giving deaf people access to gay lesbian. We're now taking this to DC. Same thing will happen to Oklahoma. The police is not being charged for killing people who are deaf. Okay, what is the recall? What is the action? A police officer use deadly force on deaf people who will sit on the porch and get shot. That is a very scary concern to me, especially if you got a whole family is deaf, and my whole family, my mother and father is deaf. I don't want to get a call one day and say, Rico, your sister lost her life because an officer is not trained enough how to deal with them kind of people. We are the people in this city. We are taxpayers in this city. We need to know what's the trend, what's the recall on how to deal with people who are deaf. I know deaf people could go to jail all the time. But do that mean an officer get the right, if they don't know how to communicate, call the radio, get a silent interpreter. The interpreter, the Cleveland have, on the Cleveland Hearing Speech Center, it have a 24-hour pager. It could be used 24 hours. If an officer don't understand, write it down. That don't mean because you don't understand, you shoot the deaf person and the deaf person died. I don't want to get that when I move to D.C. because this will be my last meeting. I will be attending. I'm going to D.C. Okay, because Dr. Vic told me that. She said they were leaving the deaf individual out when council have meetings. Never invite deaf people. Never invite access. And when she told me that, I said, that is a big problem in Cleveland. Thank you.
Mr. Rich Raphael?
Mr. President, Mr. County Executive, members of council, good evening. My name is Rich Raphael. I'm here today representing Clevelanders for Public Transit. I would like to speak with you for just a moment about the fine work that the Transit Advisory Subcommittee has been doing and also speak to Councilman Miller's announcement that the last meeting is scheduled of that subcommittee is scheduled to take place in 2 days. First and foremost, Clevelanders for Public Transit would like to express our sincere gratitude for the scope of the work that the subcommittee, Councilman Miller and Councilwoman Conwell, has done to date. There are some outstanding things that they're putting in place to begin to address the loss of the MCO funding for public transit at the state level. And they're looking to form partnerships with people in the business community to find a more permanent solution. We're behind those efforts 100%. We applaud them. We stand ready to support those efforts with whatever resources we have. Meanwhile, we also believe that there are some other efforts in line with some recommendations the committee has made, the subcommittee has made in its report, that we may be able to partner with county council to help advocate for here at the local level. I think we agree with our esteemed county executive that we can't wait on the state to act because there's another round of fare hikes and service cuts on the drawing board at RTA for 2018. And I think that there are some things that we can continue to partner with county council to do to try and address those. So I'd just like to take a moment, Council President Brady, Mr. Miller, please meet with us and let's talk the scope of my remarks. The time frame doesn't allow me to go into detail. Please, let's set up a meeting. Let's have some dialogue about what we can do to continue these efforts, at least for the next 6 months. There's been some great work done. We acknowledge, we applaud that work, but we believe that a two-prong attack, for lack of a better way, would be a good way to continue to go about this. We'll work to support Councilwoman Conwell and the efforts to form that partnership of that high-level advocacy organization with NOACA. But we need to do some stuff over here as well, and that's what we'd like to talk to you about, is exploring some of those more localized options in the meantime. I thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your time and attention today.
Ms. Lynn Solomon?
Good evening. I thank the Cuyahoga County Council members for allowing me to speak and for listening. I am here to ask that the Transportation Subcommittee continue in 2018. I'm a resident of Mr. Brady's district, and I use public transportation as my sole transportation. I wanted to give you a little background. I came to Cleveland in 1976 when I was 16, and I began using the bus to get back and forth to high school, work, and college. It was an amazing transportation system. I continued to use RTA for the next 15 years. And then in the 1990s, I had a family and I got a car for the benefit of my children. But then in 2013, after my children were all grown, they had jobs or were in college, I decided to rid myself of the bondage of a car and began using RTA again. I began to realize this was a different RTA than I remembered. It cost significantly more and had significantly decreased in services. And through the past 4 years, I have watched the fares increase and the services to continue to be slashed. I fell in love with public transportation ever since I was 16, and I want to have the option to be able to use public transportation for all of my needs and not have to be burdened with a car. But I fear that RTA is dying. I feel that public transportation is not valued in the city of Cleveland. It appears to me that not only the city of Cleveland, but RTA itself doesn't appear to be all that concerned. I attended an RTA board meeting where the CEO, Mr. Calabrese, shot down any and every reasonable request for RTA to limp back to even a shadow of its former status. Because of my love for independence on public transportation and the city of Cleveland and RTA's lackadaisical view of public transportation, I am asking the county to continue the subcommittee and to light a fire under RTA to get serious about reinstating our public transportation system from mediocre at best to even a shadow of what it used to be. And so I am asking you to please continue the subcommittee. Thank you.
Ms. Teresa Kammerman?
Thank you. My name's Teresa Kammerman for giving me the opportunity to speak. I'm here to ask for the subcommittee for transportation to continue the oversight or continue working with RTA. I'm not a rider, I'm a pediatrician, and I work in Garfield Heights on transportation near 480, actually near where some of the administration offices are for RTA. And I watch my families that come to me struggle because many of them are on Medicaid and have lower income, and they have to take public transportation to get to my office. And it really hit home when I took care of a family that had 4 children, and one, I was worried about his arm being broken, and mom told me she was going to take her 4 children on the bus to get the x-ray. And it really hit home. My families that come to me struggle to get to the appointments on time, and I also see many children with disabilities. And as we're planning for them to grow up, and I'm getting older and they're going off, they can't find jobs because they don't have transportation, or their parents are worried about how they can get places. So on many levels, I worry about the transportation in the city of Cleveland. We need a stronger and better public transportation for individuals with disabilities and our lower income citizens. Thank you.
Mr. Nathan Genovese?
Hello. Thank you for giving me, I'm Nathan Genovese. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak before the council. I am also here to ask you not to continue the transportation subcommittee. As a person with a disability, I don't own a car, and I have to rely on public transportation to get back and forth to work every day. A lot of what I do is it requires me to take a train. Most of what I do is in downtown Cleveland, and I live over on the east side. And so I need, and me and people like me often rely on public transportation to get places that are far away. Our system, I recall a time when it used to be that you could take the 32 all the way into work, and these days I have to, it's become that I have to take multiple trains and transfer 3 or 4 times, and it's just my opinion that that we need to do more and expand the services for the people with disabilities in the community. Thank you for your time.
Mr. Jeffrey Boudon, sorry if I mispronounced that.
Hi, I'm Jeffrey Boudon, so yes, you said it right. I'm a citizen of Cleveland, or a resident of Cleveland rather, and I just wanted to speak also in support of the proposal that's been made by a number of people from Clevelanders for Public Transit tonight, that the subcommittee on transportation be extended for at least another 6 months. I'm a driver. I don't take public transit terribly often. When I have taken it in Cleveland, it's given me the feeling, gee, I'm glad I have a car. I remember I spent a bit of time in Germany when I was in college, and I was kind of floored coming from Cleveland, just how easy it was to get around, whether by bus or by train, because my experience here was that it was always kind of laborious and a little bit difficult to get anywhere. And if that was something that I noticed as somebody who drives a car, I can't imagine how much more burdensome that must be for somebody who doesn't have that luxury. And I think the people who most need those services are the ones who are most impacted by a failure to improve the public transit system in Cleveland. And I suppose also too, just knowing friends in other cities that do have perhaps a bit more robust public transit systems, when they come home to visit, they're just like, ooh, okay. So I don't know. I just think that would be something really good to see for Cleveland. I suppose my last point is also just, as the effects of climate change get worse, I can't help but think that a bit of a decrease in car culture would also be something that would behoove Cleveland to undertake. So anyways, thanks very much for taking a minute.
Mr. Ian Zanay?
Thank you. I'm also here to talk about the Clevelanders for Public Transit, extending the subcommittee for 6 more months. All the great cities in the world have public transit and great systems. New York, London, so on and so forth. Germany, as we mentioned. Make sure Cleveland is a great city for people to come and move to, give them a reason to move here. And opportunity is important. And if people don't have an opportunity to get to where they need to be, then, that's it's not good. So please extend the subcommittee. Thank you.
Akshay Singh?
Good evening, Council. Thank you for staying through the remarks of folks and members of Clevelanders for Public Transit. I want to thank President Brady for your leadership in starting this committee, and Chairman Miller and Councilwoman Conwell for this last year of really diving so deeply into the issues that are going on with public transportation, from hearings by disabilities riders and seniors from around the county to proposals of how we can work to improve it from groups like Transit Center in New York City. What we really are looking to do is figure out how we can work with the whole council to really deeply address the coming crisis. 7% cuts to RTA in terms of service and workforce, which would mean layoffs for the Amalgamated Transit Union as well. 7% cuts for folks who don't ride transit may not necessarily, I don't know what the perception is of that kind of change, but when we're a system that already lacks the ability to get workers to Progressive, to Ursuline College, to NASA, we've already had enough cuts to limit those opportunities. 7% additional cuts would mean no weekend service. It would mean no nighttime service for many of all of your residents, many of whom rely on public transportation. So thank you again for your consideration. We are very, very much appreciative. And as a personal note, I'm a resident of Cleveland Heights, and we'd also really, I know in Cleveland Heights, love to see the back proposal go through from Councilwoman Simon. So thank you much for your time.
Chris Stocking?
Thank you, Council, for your time. It's a real privilege to speak before my elected officials, having usually gone to Cleveland City Council meetings. We don't get that privilege. I'm also speaking on behalf of Clevelanders for Public Transit. I live in President Brady's district and just want to thank you for your leadership on forming this committee. I ride transit every day in this committee, and watching the work that they've done has been very important to me. Also wanted to just echo a thank you to Miller and Representative Conwell for spending your Thursdays on this committee. I know it's been a big time commitment. I just want to talk about something that the report did not directly address, the draft report that's going to be coming from the committee. It does make a lot of good points, but one point that it doesn't talk about much is the population loss that Cuyahoga County is facing and the effects that that has on RTA. If you look at the ridership for RTA, it was at an all-time low last year, and it's on track to be even lower this year. A lot of that is due to the fare increase and the recent cuts, but actually if you go back and track this looking at population compared to the county and a ridership, there's a direct correlation between that. So what I'd like to talk about briefly tonight is something, that's not in that report. The report talks a lot about federal and state, and I know that's why the report was formed, but we also have to talk about quality of life for Cuyahoga County residents and what we can do to at least retain our population or stop the bleeding. Things like the Opportunity Corridor, a road that's cost over $330 million is a lot of money, especially when you're looking at transit and cuts that are only going to generate $7 million per year compared to $330 million. Why do I mention that at a county meeting? Because Cuyahoga County pledged over $10 million to the Opportunity Corridor. So I want to ask County Council, why are we continuing to funnel population outside of Cuyahoga County when we know it's affecting RTA and when our money is limited? Also looking at projects like the Q, I found no problem with $16 million in leftover money from the Hotel and Convention Center to spend on the Q renovation. Again, while RTA is increasing fares, that's only going to generate about $3 million a year. So those are the facts. My personal story, other than taking transit every day, is my wife takes it very often. We used to have a bus line just a couple years ago, the number 45 that was cut. It used to drop her off right at the corner, and now she has to walk home in the dark alone. And I worry about her every night, and I want this bus line restored. So I want you to seriously consider continuing this committee. Keep these stories in mind, and please look at how you spend your money and spend it wisely. Thank you for your time, and I hope you'll meet with Clevelanders for Public Transit to discuss our concerns. Thank you.
Final speaker is Ms. Liu.
Good evening. Here I kind of bring you another surprise. For this transportation thing, I actually went to the board meeting, RTA board meeting. I found out they are the opposite compared to the county council members here. That meeting shows me they are very narrow-minded. All the things they discuss and for all the suggestions people put in the comments, it seems like they're not really hearing it. Only one employee actually approached me because I offer a very good, simple solutions for them. However, it seems like they still don't have that quick response they actually should give to public. Don't forget, RTA also receive fundings, lots of fundings from governments, but are they really doing everything for all the people paying tax, paying bus tickets? Not really. For example, right now in today's resolution, we do have some of them concerning to job opportunities, homeless services. Think about this. People already homeless, even they can go to these job fairs to get a job. They will have no way to reach the job to actually work to earn the money for them to be out of their homelessness. Now, talking about homelessness, here's not a surprise for you. I'm here to sincerely thank you for all the efforts you put on for the shelter on Payne Avenue. However, past Sunday, there was an event just right next door for all homeless people, not only for this shelter. Guess what? Frontline Service actually made an internal announcement, not even make that clear to all the residents that they did not want to serve lunch. They wanted us to go up next door. Now, for the people who already have mobility issues, for the people having neurological health issues, going to the cold weather, even to the next door. Do you know how much pain they have to endure? Fibromyalgia, multiple sclerosis, all these kind of problems. Now, the staff still magically found food. And look at the portion some of us actually got. So we don't know what they're doing. The other service provider, which owns the building, finally started all the improvement they should have done in 10 years of time. Just like last time in this room, one of the county employees actually congratulated me for the lockers in the budget, $3,000, which are 10 years late. So please help. Thank you very much.
All right, okay. Well, we've have a special evening in many ways. I know it's been a long meeting. But one of our colleagues will be leaving at the end of the year. It's a sad time in many ways because I know I personally will miss him. But I know it's also a celebration because he has been elected to serve in the Cleveland City Council. As someone who once served in that council, I know he's got exactly what it takes to be a very good Cleveland City Council member. I've been very impressed with the councilman's work over the last 4 years. If he had done one or two of the things that we know about the most, that would have been impressive. But you've really been an exceptional councilman, and we really hate to lose you, but we know you won't be very far away. And I know that on the evening of January the 1st, you're going to be sworn in down the street. The door is always still open here. Now that you know how things work around here, I would imagine that you might want to take advantage of that. Just don't let all the other Cleveland City Councilmen know about it, okay? All right. So with that, I'd like to open it up to anybody who has anything to say for the Councilman Harrison this evening. Councilman Miller.
Mr. President and my colleagues and Anthony, it seems like you just got here and you're moving on, and it has really been a pleasure to work with you, and I know that you have been in very close touch with your constituents, and you know the political process, and most important, you know how to translate governmental action into concrete benefits for your neighborhood. I believe that you have a very bright political future. You will be an excellent member of Cleveland City Council, and I wish you the very best of success. Thank you.
Councilman Gallagher.
Anthony, I think you know how I feel about you. Cleveland's gain is our loss. And when you first came here, I was so excited, you and Chantel. Like we got some young, vibrant newbies here, and here you are now moving further ahead than I could ever imagine to have done myself. And I look forward to watching your career because I believe it has nothing but unlimited heights, and I'm excited to watch. Congratulations, and I'll miss you dearly.
Councilman Sean.
Anthony, good luck to you, because I think he was talking about the three of us with gray hair. Are sad to see our youth movement that we saw interjected into the council leaving so quickly. But you leave with our good graces and Godspeed, and do good things over there. Make us proud. Thank you.
Thank you. Definitely bittersweet. Anthony took me literally under his right wing and helped me navigate the county council waters right away. And he is more than a colleague. He is truly like a brother and a friend. So I will keep it brief just because I think, I will definitely miss you. This council will miss your presence here. I am happy for you, but it is a bittersweet moment. So no one will be able to significantly take your place here. So thank you.
Anthony, you my guy. I'm going to miss you. You've been an incredible councilman. I enjoy campaigning to help you do what I can to help you get where you are in the city council race, and I'm excited to watch what you do and where you go. I have your back. If you need me at any time, call me. I'm there for you. Congrats.
Councilwoman Simon.
So it's been great to have Anthony here, and Anthony does a lot of good work, but keeps it quiet. He doesn't toot his own horn. He's working really hard always for his residents, and I can bring to mind a half a dozen things that he's worked on that maybe everybody isn't aware of, but I've been watching your good work, and good luck, and I'll continue to watch you. Thanks.
Good luck, and you won't be far because we still got to work together. So I look forward to it.
Absolutely.
See you at the Kwanzaa event.
Councilman, it's been a pleasure working with you. We didn't get to work long together, but in the short time that I've been here, I've seen your passion and your commitment to your constituents, and I'm sure you're going to carry that over to the good folks in Cleveland. And as my colleagues have said here, we're only a phone call away, so don't hesitate to call. Thank you very much for your service.
Councilwoman.
And two, I haven't had much time to work with you, but it's really been a pleasure to have you part of this council, and I wish you the best in your next venture. And again, please keep in touch. Good luck.
All right. Well, we have an item here. Oh, I'm sorry. Very sorry. Mr. Executive.
No, thank you. I just want to add my congratulations to Councilman Hairston. I'm not sure I agree with Councilwoman Simon. I never saw you quiet. But all the great work you've done, I agree that a lot of people don't know. I mean, the East Cleveland Arco dump would not be where it is today getting cleaned up if not for your great works. Roads that you've had tremendous input in, and of course the budget, number of things. So it's been a pleasure to work with you. You're very effective, and I know Cleveland will benefit by your presence. Thanks.
Thank you. And is there anybody else that I haven't noticed? Okay. You sure can.
Anthony always liked to brag that he was the youngest member of council, and with his absence now, I think I will regain that title.
Well, it remains to be seen. Well, Anthony.
See, I wasn't ready for this today. You guys are gonna make me tear up. For someone having to be the first body that they serve on, it's always a little bit more emotional. So I won't cry a little bit. I will say it has truly been a honor and privilege to serve with so many distinguished people from so many different parts of our county. This body has truly operated in a fashion like no other. And when people talk about nonpartisan, this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. And because of that, it has allowed for the people's work to be done. You can't ask for anything better. Because of that, it has allowed for us to achieve so many things that we have done together. And I don't believe there will ever be another time that the amount of things that we were able to get done together will ever happen again in the history of this county. From the demolition fund to the creation of the coalition to fight infant mortality, from bringing attention back to the need for the CTAG initiative and the schools around Cuyahoga County, to the increased access to workforce development training dollars, and I can go on and so many other things that we have done. So it is truly a sad day for me to be departing such a competent and respected body and government and serving along with a fine executive that Armin Buttigieg has been. But as Mr. President said, it is also exciting to begin a new chapter in my life as the 10th Ward representative on such a historic body, which is Cleveland City Council. So thank you to all who have taught me so much, and I'm sure you all have learned a few things from me as well. So keep in mind, as the council president said, I'm right down the street. My phone is always available, and this will not be the last time you see me. I had intended to do this on December 28th, but I said, well, what the heck, we'll do it tonight. So again, thank you all for your kind words and your commitment to helping me grow as a public official, being such a young man. And I will never forget that. We will take that through all of the journey that we have left through our life. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Thank you. We have